Hello and welcome back to PRATHAM Test Prep YouTube channel. So today we'll be doing Boost Your Vocabulary session 17 and hence let's start with that. Alright, so the first idiom for the day is monkey business. Now whenever you are talking about any kind of activity which is considered extremely mischievous, very questionable, to some extent maybe illegal, right? Any kind of thing when you say you're sort of breaking rules or creating any sort of chaos or mess, that is what is considered to be having or doing some sort of monkey business. So have a look at this sentence. Those three boys are cooped up inside the room. I wonder what monkey business they are planning this time. So when you say those three boys are cooped up inside the room, probably they are doing something mischievous. And that is why maybe their parents or someone else in the other room are wondering what these little boys are up to. So this is one thing you generally use, especially, for little toddlers or kids who go absolutely silent and are sitting in another room and you're constantly wondering where and what they are doing, right? All right, let's have a look at the next idiom. The next idiom is a cock and bull story. So any story that you hear which is unlikely to be true. So anything that you hear, you feel it's absolutely false or it's not true or it's something very foolish that you cannot even believe, right? Something that sounds unbelievable can also be considered to be a cock and bull story. Have a look at the sentence. Diana didn't show up again today. She gave us some cock and bull story about falling down the stairs and hurting her pinky finger. I mean, imagine a person who has fallen down the stairs, right? How is it possible that after doing that, the person is just going to hurt his or her pinky finger? So obviously, if you're falling down the stairs, either you have managed to get hurt in an extremely harsh or bad way, or you are kind of okay. Not much has sort of happened, right? So when you say Diana didn't show up again today, you are saying that eventually she gave us a story. So when you miss a test or when you're not going to your classes regularly for a long time and when your teacher asks you the reason or asks you the reason for not doing your homework and you end up saying that my dog ate my homework, then that is an example of a cock and bull story because your teachers clearly cannot believe that. I hope this idiom is clear. I'm moving on to the next one. So next one is bull in a china shop. You know how we all, especially because Diwali festival is going to start very soon and we all have this crockery and everything that we buy, very delicate glass crockery, right? China. So we are not talking about China country, but the crockery that's considered to be China. So bull in a china shop, somebody who is extremely clumsy, somebody who is extremely careless in the way that person moves or behaves, right? So have a look at the sentence that will make you understand the idiom in a much better way. It was a very tense situation at the dinner when Minnie, oblivious as always, came in like a bull in a china shop. So there was a tense situation going on, something serious probably had happened, and there's this girl Minnie who just randomly walks in with a lot of excitement and in her usual clumsy manner, and that's when you say the bull is in the china shop. So something clumsy that you may have done, right? And you are always like that. So I believe you could say a little bit of that about me because I keep falling and tripping down all the time. So yes, that happens with me. Anna, your dog actually ate your homework. Wow, one lucky girl, but trust me, as a teacher, it's still difficult to believe that. Alright, so I'll still call that a cock and a bull story. At least tell me something that I can believe easily. Alright, not that you're lying, but just sounds unbelievable. Alright, let's have a look at the next one. More holes than a Swiss cheese. Now, any kind of plan or any kind of proposal or anything that you feel has a lot of loopholes, has a lot of faults and problems in it, right? That is said to have more holes than a Swiss cheese. Now, for example, if you have watched any kind of new movie and you feel the new movie's plot has more holes than a Swiss cheese, you were saying that there are a lot of loopholes in it, like there are plot holes. It's not written, the movie is not really written, it's not directed in the right way that it probably should have been, and you're still wondering what do you want to say. I'm not sure how many of you felt something similar after watching Brahmastra, but trust me, I did, right? I really wanted to ask क्या कहना चाहते हो at the end of the film, because I sat there 3 hours to watch and understand what they were trying to say. Apart from Shiva, you have a pit bull. Wow. Okay. Nice, Anya. Alright, so let's have a look at the next idiom. Best thing since sliced bread. So whenever you want to show your enthusiasm about either a particular person, about a particular thing, or maybe any kind of idea that you're extremely excited about, right? Or there's some sort of a new innovation or great invention that you want to hype about, you want to create that craze about it, right? So you can say this is the best thing since sliced bread. So the way they act, it would seem like the new employee is the best thing since sliced bread. So imagine there's this XYZ company that sort of has a new employee, and the way they are treating that employee, and giving that employee so much importance, it feels like that employee has been the best thing since sliced bread, because that employee is being given so much importance in the organization, right? If you have watched some movie, you could also say that it was the best thing since sliced bread because you loved the film so much. Could work out for any of the web series or anything close to that, right? Whatever extremely amazing that you can think of and you want to say that this is the best thing ever happened. Again, in that case as well, we can use this particular idiom. Next one, a hot potato. So any kind of controversial issue that nobody wants to discuss because it is uncomfortable to talk about, right? Now, if you're talking about hot potato controversial topic, you could also say something that's considered to be very taboo, right, in the society. So in that case, also you could say something is a hot potato. Have a look at the sentence. The immigration crisis is a hot potato in many countries nowadays, right? So I'm not sure how many of you know this, but right now, as of present time, even if you try to apply for a work visa, let's say to the US, it's almost like there's a 2-year waiting period, right? Because of COVID and everything is going on a backlog. So that problem is there. I'm not sure for how many more countries we can say that, but yes, for US it's definitely there because I have faced it personally. So the immigration crisis is a hot potato. It's a controversial issue that nobody wants to talk about because it's considered to be a taboo, or you could say it's considered to be more of a hush-hush sort of a topic. Alright, let's have a look at the next one. Beef up. So when you beef up, it means you strengthen, you increase or make something much more effective. So if you look at the GIF, you see that Popeye eats spinach and has become very, very strong, right? So whenever something is increasing, or you could say is becoming more strengthened, more stronger. So in that case, you could say something has been beefed up. Have a look at the sentence. After the incident last week, the security is beefed up all over the city. Now, for example, there are so many Bollywood and Hollywood movies made in which, there's this phone call being made to some flight that there's a bomb in the flight and something like that, and post that everyone is scared and they are trying to check, and post that again the security level really increases. Or post the Taj attack which happened a couple of years ago in Mumbai. The level of security across 5-star hotels in different cities, especially the metropolitan cities, really increased. It was beefed up because of security and safety purposes. So you're increasing the strength, you're making something stronger. We can use this particular idiom. I mean, you can always remember this with the help of Popeye and his spinach. Next idiom is going bananas. Now, when you go absolutely wild, absolutely crazy with a lot of enthusiasm, with a lot of excitement, very extreme form of emotions, usually these emotions are towards the happy side rather than overwhelming sad side, right? Have a look at the sentence, probably you would be able to relate. When the host announced that Ranveer Singh has crashed the party, the crowd went bananas. So imagine you are at a regular place going for a party with your friends or your family or your cousins, and the host over there finally announces that Ranveer Singh is going to enter. Clearly, people are going to go crazy. Or if you're someone who has actually visited or experienced a live concert of some very famous pop star, whether Indian or not, the moment it's announced that finally the person is going to come and maybe do a rap or sing for you or whatever, again the same thing happens. People go crazy, right? So that is when you can say people go bananas. So when the horse announced, we went bananas. Now, to remember this, maybe you could relate to what level of excitement you would have if you come across any Bollywood or Hollywood celebrity. Your girl crush, your woman crush, your man crush, could be anything, but anyone who you would go crazy for, you can use this particular idiom to remember that, and that would work also as a mnemonic aid. The next one is pot calling the kettle black. So when you are criticizing someone for the same fault that you yourself have also done. Have a look at the sentence. Susan accusing Monica of faking the test results is the pot calling the kettle black. So this particularly means that Susan and Monica both had faked their test results, and now one was blaming the other that because of you this happened or something like that, right? Whereas they both were at fault. So let's say when you and your sibling do some sort of mischief and your parents catch hold of you. So you start blaming your sibling, right? But actually the truth is that both of you were equally involved. So in that case, you could use the idiom pot calling the kettle black. Again, for this one, write down sibling or maybe the name of your sibling. That would work as a mnemonic aid to remember the meaning as well. The next one and the last idiom for the day is everything but the kitchen sink. Now, I have a little bit of problem, which is when I go for a trip, even if it's just a 1 or 2 day event, right? I would probably fill my entire suitcase and carry as many clothes, as many footwears as I can possibly can. So for one occasion, I would probably be carrying 5 outfits, right? And I obviously come back with those properly ironed clothes because I don't get to use them. So whenever you do something, right, which is not really required, or maybe you do everything possible, even the unnecessary tasks, that is when you say everything but the kitchen sink. Have a look at the sentence. When he goes on vacation, he takes along everything but the kitchen sink. So when you go for a vacation, what are you doing? You are carrying every single thing possibly that is there with you, right? You carry all of those. Even if you look at the image, it says we have thrown everything but the kitchen sink. So whatever was not even required, we have thrown away that and now we are left with nothing at all, right? So that is how you remember the particular idiom, that you carry every single thing with you, but even if it is not required, you are still doing that. Well, that's all for today's video. I'm going to see you in the next one. Till then, do not forget to subscribe to your channel if you have still haven't done it. And for more updates, make sure that you also click the bell icon. Thank you.